Okay guys, it is now 9 to 5. Oh. It's now 9 to 5 and I'm at work, but I mean it's just log in. I mean it's just walk in and then log in after I've done this. Then it wasn't any different with the churches, okay? So maybe they lasted longer because they wanted to keep public image. Not even, you know, those who are like that. Actually, it was less often. But still, it's the whole social thing, right? Because you know, if they weren't taught that, and didn't have a whole entire community of people that promoted these ideals, and hey, they weren't strong enough to go against their community's ideas, then yeah. But if it was different, but deep down inside they still want to do it. We are not how our brains work either, because you know you can have a certain way of receiving information and communicating information, and your body might be wired similarly and all this type of thing. But if you have a different perspective on life, or a different personality, or things like that, a different that's going to make you different. That's the difference between healed and unhealed. The unhealed ones want to project it onto others, or they got their stuff to work through and they're doing their very best to work through it all, but they haven't worked through it all yet. Okay, and then there's the healed ones that are like, they don't feel the need to do that to others, and they don't occasionally take out their frustration verbally on their partners because something came up that they didn't realise they hadn't dealt with, or it was still a painful thing, you know. But then you got the healed ones, and the healed ones, and by the way, healing is a lifelong journey. That's why after I focused on it made it the first most prominent thing in my life, rather than the third most important, for 2 years. But you can't stay there forever, you got to carry on. You know what I'm saying? So, yes. In 4 minutes. Yeah, so it turns out that it doesn't really matter what the rules are. If you're the one making the rules, then you can break the rules, but prepare for the avalanche except for I'm an avalanche too, because it seems to be that everyone's out for themselves, and those who aren't just out for themselves, those closest to them, but they don't realise that their children or their nieces and nephews and stuff are actually raised in this community, so what affects this kind of community does affect them. That's how I've always thought. But it turns out that not necessarily everyone thinks that way. And I thought, well, I do, and I'm going to operate out of it because it makes sense, but if the rules are they make sense, but they are broken all the time by those in power, you know what I mean? But then if there's those rules that don't make sense, but we have to go along because those in power said so, that whether that be the government, whether that be, you know, the leader of whatever community you're a part of, whether it be a spiritual community or church or some sort of autistic community or some sort of whatever. You don't just go along, well, you know, if it makes sense and it makes sense to you as to why it's beneficial for the whole community, then go along. But the thing is most of the community are just out for themselves, and they view it as like us and me only, or me and me, those closest to me. All these people communicating to, all these people, what's that word? Contributing to the community, but it's like, if something happened to one of these people, they wouldn't go out of their way to put themselves out there to help stop it. You know what I mean? To help stop it if it's all coming. They might just go, oh my God, this guy did something, or oh my God, and run away or something, rather than work together as a team. Yeah, but an unhealed neurodivergent. He's a healed one. And he didn't yell and scream this time. So, he never does anything. People just stay away from him because he yells and says, "Oh man, we pay taxes, we run the place, not you. We pay taxes, we run the place, not you." And then you say, look, like you can't smoke here, or you can't swear at people or something, you know, like you're not supposed to act that way. He'll just get worse. But he just walks past this time.
The next country license to stopping at stations is due to depart from platform 7. Please hold now for the service.
There's a place out in Dixon Street where like some guards were like treating their clients like people have. That's not the last stop place. Like, you know, often people who don't have supports, and they're either autistic or whatever, and they don't have employment, or it's either they're autistic or they got ADHD or they got on drugs or something, and they don't have a support system, and they weren't able to hold employment. Well, some guards have gone out there like threatening them and stuff, like ages ago, but they were like threatening them and laughing at them and stuff, and you know, they weren't treating them like it was their home, because they still have to pay rent. You know, it's like the cheapest housing, but they still pay their rent there, right? And so obviously they got that idea about them, and now they have stab-proof vests because there's been a number of guards over the history that have been beaten up because of the tenants ran out of patience on them. And I just tell them, like, you can't talk to them like they're kids, you know what I'm saying? They pay their rent and stuff, so you just gotta, if they pay their rent, you know, you just acknowledge the fact they live there, and they pay their rent, and they're not breaking the law whilst they're there, you know, so don't get up their ass, and they won't run out of patience. You know, there won't be the very rare occasion where some of them run out of patience, and, you know. So, it's those who have power can make the rules, but if they break the rules, nobody cares. And if you go against the rules because it doesn't make any sense for you, then you're the bad guy, even if it doesn't make any sense at all. So just listen to the rules, unless it harms you. Then yeah. Okay guys, it's 5 o'clock now, so I'm going to book on. See you.